everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to be doing some work in this art journal. I've got a few on the go. I'm trying to do some art journaling every day because I find it is really mindful and calming. So just join along, I'll fast forward it and maybe insert some rubbish music if I can figure out how to do it. Let's see what we can create together. Okay, so I decided not to put naff music on and do a bit of a voiceover instead. So here I'm just scribbling using some water-soluble oil pastels. Now, I bought these thinking they were really fab, and I guess the idea of them's nice, but they're just not vivid enough for me, is the word. And so maybe I need to use them on something different other than art journaling. They just don't give me the right kind of... I like my colours to be really strong and not wishy-washy. So yeah, I keep trying to use them and trying to incorporate them in my crafting and my art journals, and I always end up feeling a little bit disappointed. So you will see that I will dry this off, but I don't give up, because that's one thing you mustn't do with art journaling, is give up. You just keep going. You just to keep going, and you can change your mind as many times as you want. And so I changed to acrylic paints here. Now I don't have a massive collection. These are a bit dark, so I've just added some white to them and I'm mixing them to get the shade that I want. I'm gonna extend my collection, I think, of these this week and treat myself to some more subtle colours, some more pastel colours. So I'm just adding it on with a brush, really randomly. I think the key to art journaling is to just not think and just do. And a lot of people don't do it because they think they're not artistic, or they think it's not going to be good enough, or they don't know where to start. So what I'd say is, don't think, just do. Just start, just put stuff on. And you know, you'll learn how things go. Like I've learnt that those water-soluble pastels are absolute pants. If I want a deep colour, they're no good. And so if I want a deeper colour, I can use my acrylics. So I just like experimenting with different things. So here I'm dabbing on with a sea sponge. Looks absolutely pants. But again, I'm not giving up. I'll dry it off and I'll keep going, because I know that it's a trust the process type of thing with art journaling, and it always comes together in the end, always does. So don't worry about it too much. And if I decided I really didn't like it, I just cover the whole thing with gesso and start all over again. It really doesn't matter. It's just paper. You can rip the page out and start again. It doesn't matter. So now I'm using some watered down gesso and some cut and dry foam, and using my stencils. This is a free one that I got, and I've decided that this is starting to look nice, and the stenciling helps draw those random coloured background that I've done there. It helps draw it together. So yeah, it starts really coming together with the stencils. So I decided to go with just shapes, basic shapes, squares and circles, and those little triangles, and just add it over the top of those blocks of colour, and it does help kind of merge everything together. I really do enjoy stenciling. I think I need to extend my collection of those as well, because it's awesome fun. You can put anything down as the background. Doesn't have to be fancy, just put some colour down any way you can. Use a brush, use a brayer, use anything. It really doesn't matter, and then layer up over the top with things that you enjoy. So here I've stamped out a heart. This is from the textures range, over on Craft Stash. I've left links before. I don't think I've left any links specifically under this video. Just creating for the fun of it, rather than to promote. I get bored of promoting and I just want to create. So I'm adding some dictionary page here, which I love adding to everything. I need to pick another one up from a charity shop. It just adds a bit of something. It adds extra texture. It's totally different from the painted background, but it's just nice and I like it. It's a great way of filling up your page. I'm using Liquitex matte medium to, no, it's a gel medium, sorry, to glue it down with, and then I'm putting it over the top as well, so that if I then decide to add any more paint to it or sprays, it won't make that paper go soggy or, you know, distort the text on it. So that's why you can seal over the top with your matte medium or your gel medium as well. Then I'm using the rest of the gesso, watered down gesso off my desk there, and I'm just sponging it all over just to mute those colours and help kind of blend them together so they don't look so much like I've just stuck them on, which is exactly what I've done, but that's what art journaling's about. You don't have to be Picasso, it's just about getting messy, having fun, using your supplies and seeing how they work. I love these. These are brushers. If you don't have brushers in your life, you need some. Look at that. Tiny, tiny specks, literally less than putting pepper on your chips, and that's how much colour you get from them. They are well worth the money that you pay for them. They'll last me a lifetime, those. You can get them in sets, you can get extra colours. I may well add to my colours of those as well because I love them. They're brilliant. So you can shake them on the surface and add water, or you can shake them direct on your project and then spray the project for more intense colour. They're brilliant. They're really good. You can use them as a palette for painting as well, you know, and put some in a palette, add water and use them to watercolour with a brush. They're very versatile, the brushes, and the colour is very intense, but the more water you add, the less intense the colour, so you can control it. It's awesome, I love it. Just drying that off, I did stamp it with archival. Now, I used archival because then when I'm adding the brushes and all the water, it won't make that ink run. It'll stay nice and sharp, so you can still see the letter in there and the print there underneath those colours, and that's the great thing about archival. Absolutely love it, it's brilliant. So just any waterproof ink will do, but that's what I use at the moment. So I'm sticking this on again with the Liquitex gel medium, and then I'm going to give it a light coat over the top to seal that colour in, and so that if I put anything else on it, it won't reactivate those colours because the gessos are water based. Okay, and then dry it off in between. I found that it's really important to make sure you dry in between. It stops your colours going muddy, it stops things re-reacting. Just make sure you dry in between. Then I'm just adding some more stamping with the archival black for a bit of sharpness on that colour. I love stamping. And then I'm getting my good old Tim Holtz words out. So the heart there, you might not be able to see, I don't know, but it's got words and lettering on. And so the theme of my kind of art journal page here is about lettering and words. As you'll see when I do my own sentiment that I put across the middle in a moment. So I'm adding words and numbers there, again with the archival, so that if I did decide to add anything else on, it wouldn't reactivate or go mushy or go, you know, dingy and horrible, and all of my colours underneath will stay nice and bright. That's half of the battle with me, and it's something that I've learned very slowly, is how to keep my colours, keep the integrity of my colours in between and not end up with mushy brown. I'm getting there and I'm learning. So I've used my Ink Tense pencil there for edging that. I'm getting better with that. I didn't use as much as I've previously used, and a very small amount of water. And the intensity of that colour to outline that heart is fantastic. And it just gives it depth and makes it pop off the page so it doesn't all just look flat. Okay. Now I decide to do what I love doing to edge my anything. I'll do anything with this, and it's wavy lines going in one direction and then the other direction just crossing over, and I just love it. It's cool, and it gives you little sections in between that you can colour. You know, I don't have a steady hand, I can't draw straight lines, so I just do what I can, and then I'm colouring in between with a really bright Spectrum Noir alcohol marker. I have to keep wiping off because some of the black from the pen keeps going on the nib. I've not found a solution for that yet. I'll just clean it off in between. And these colours are actually a lot brighter in real than they are here, because it's so sunny today and I've got my blinds open in my craft room. It actually, the brightness of the light outside is counteracting with the video and making things look darker than they are. It's actually a really vibrant, bright colour. It's lovely. I love it. So now I'm using the dreaded Posca pen. Now I'm starting to like the Posca pen. I'm going to take back what I previously said about it. I've badmouthed it on previous videos, and the more I use it, maybe I expect too much of things. I've been reading up about white paint pens, and this comes out as one of the better ones. So I think it does depend what you're putting it on top of. So here it's remaining quite a nice colour and white on top of that Spectrum Noir marker there around the border. Whereas on the heart, where it's more watercolour, you know, I've had to do it twice. So I think it does depend very much on what you're putting it over the top of as to how good you're going to get results. And maybe, like I say, I expect too much from things. Oh dear. So drying it off, because I will put my arm in it and smudge it. So there we go. I've adjusted the blinds and you can see the brightness of the colours there a little better. Yeah, that heart, the colour on the heart is super vibrant because the brushes are such intense colours that they're fab. So this sentiment that I've made here, I've done it on my computer. Art spells out how your heart feels. And that's what art journaling's all about. You know, if you get your stuff out when you're feeling a bit fed up or you just want a bit of fun, then it comes out on the page. Okay? And it's just a really good, mindful thing. It's brilliant. I can't advise you enough to try it. You don't have to be Picasso. I certainly am not. But it's brilliant. And if you're a crafter like me, you've already got all of the stuff. You've got the stuff in your hoard. Get using it and get creative. So this Sharpie pen is a skinny tip one and it doesn't really show up very well. But again, that's something I've learned, is not to use that one for outlining. It's not wide enough, so I'll go in with the fat one, the fat Sharper, and edge my sentiment a bit more to give it just a little bit more kind of depth, because the Distress ink didn't quite do it enough for me. So yeah, I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I hope it helps inspire you to give art journaling a try. Thanks for watching.